Okay, so like when the temperature drops and we bundle up in layers, well, our floors, they kind of need some winter prep too.
Yeah.
Today, we are diving into protecting the surfaces that we walk all over.
Right.
You know, engineered wood, solid wood, and even luxury vinyl tile, LVT.
Right.
Winter, it throws some curveballs.
It really does.
And even those really tough floors, they can get a little sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
So what happens when Old Man Winter comes knocking?
Well, it's really about this dramatic environmental shift.
Right.
Right. So inside, we're blasting the heat, we're drying the air out.
Yeah.
But then outside, freezing temperatures and probably some wet conditions, whether it's snow, sleet, or just rain.
Right. It's almost like our floors are experiencing climate whiplash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that drastic difference, it really messes with the humidity levels.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest villain for wood floors.
Okay.
Because wood, being a natural material, will expand when it's damp and shrink when it's dry. So too much dry air is going to make those wood planks shrink, leaving gaps.
Uh-oh.
And then cue the dreaded melted snow getting tracked inside.
Yeah.
It's filling those gaps with moisture, and it can potentially warp the wood.
Not a good look.
Not a good look.
So engineered wood, which I've always heard is supposed to be more stable than solid wood,
Right.
isn't completely off the hook.
Nope, not entirely.
Really?
No, because the way engineered wood is constructed, with those layers, it makes it more resistant to the changes, but not immune.
Okay.
Dry air can still lead to those gaps. And those gaps, there's still an open invitation for moisture damage.
Right, right.
Think of it like this. If you were wearing a water-resistant jacket,
Yeah.
but it had a few holes in it, you'd still get wet in a downpour.
That makes sense. That's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
So what can we do to keep our engineered wood floors happy and healthy all winter long?
Okay.
Should I be investing in tiny floor parkas?
Well, maybe not parkas.
Okay.
But consistent humidity is key.
Right.
So you want to aim for that sweet spot between 40% and 60% relative humidity.
Okay.
A humidifier is your best friend here, especially if you live in a particularly dry climate.
Gotcha.
And where getting specific about types helps.
Okay.
For larger rooms, a console humidifier. For smaller spaces, an ultrasonic humidifier works perfectly.
Okay.
And placement is key too.
Placement. Okay.
You want to position them away from walls and furniture.
Gotcha.
For optimal air circulation.
Interesting. So it's not just having a humidifier, it's about using the right one.
Right.
Putting it in the right place.
Exactly.
What else can we do?
Quick cleanups are crucial.
Okay.
Especially for those inevitable winter spills.
Yeah.
High quality mats, like at entryways, are like your first line of defense.
Okay.
They act like a buffer zone.
Yeah.
Trapping that abrasive salt and grit.
Right.
Which can, scratch your floors like sandpaper.
Oh, no.
And don't forget to remind everyone, guests included.
Yeah.
Take off those wet shoes.
Ooh, yeah. Nobody wants to be that guest.
Exactly. And any spills, clean them up immediately.
Okay.
With a dry cloth to avoid moisture seeping into the wood.
Good to know.
And for those of us with furry friends who might mistake our floors for a slip-and slide, consider strategically placing absorbent rugs or runners.
Okay.
In those high-traffic, pet-prone areas.
Right.
Think of them as extra padding for peace of mind.
That's a great point. I've definitely learned the hard way about surprise pet puddles.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah.
And don't forget those felt pads under furniture legs.
Oh, right.
Those tiny pads can prevent a lot of scratches and damage.
Yeah.
Especially during winter when we're spending more time indoors and maybe rearranging furniture for the holidays.
Right. Speaking of furniture rearranging,
Yeah.
let's move on to solid wood floors.
Okay.
I love the look of them.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
But I know they're known for being a bit more temperamental
They are.
when it comes to temperature and humidity changes.
Yeah.
What are we up against here?
Well, solid wood is definitely the drama queen of the flooring world. Since it's completely natural.
Yeah.
It's way more susceptible to those temperature and humidity swings.
Gotcha.
Think of it like this. When it's cold and dry, the wood contracts, leading to gaps between the planks.
Okay.
But then when things warm up, the wood expands, and those planks kind of push against each other.
Yeah.
Leading to a phenomenon called cupping.
Cupping. What does that look like?
Picture this. The edges of the wood planks are higher than the center.
Okay.
Creating a concave or cup-like shape. And in extreme cases, those temperature and humidity swings can even lead to warping.
Okay.
which is basically when the boards bend or twist out of shape.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want my floors looking like a roller coaster.
Nobody does. But don't worry, we can outsmart those winter woes. So the best way to protect your solid wood floors is to avoid those extreme temperature changes as much as possible.
Okay.
Resist the urge to crank up the heat the second you come in from the cold.
So no more blasting the heat to like tropical temperatures and my fingers feel like icicles.
Exactly.
Okay.
Try to keep your thermostat at a steady, moderate temperature throughout the winter.
Gotcha.
And just like with engineered wood, protection from moisture is crucial.
Right.
You know those waterproof mats and rugs
Yeah.
in high traffic areas,
Mm-hmm.
especially near doorways and in hallways?
Okay.
Those can be real lifesavers for your floors.
It's like giving your floors their own little winter boots.
Exactly.
I love that.
And speaking of protection,
Yes.
we mentioned polishing or refinishing solid wood floors annually.
Yeah. Is there a specific type of finish that's best for winter?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
For winter protection, a polyurethane finish is your best bet. It creates a tough, moisture-resistant barrier
Mm-hmm.
that can really stand up to the wear and tear of winter.
Nice.
And if you're a DIY enthusiast,
Yeah.
you can even apply it yourself.
Ooh. A DIY project for a snowy day. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered engineered wood and solid wood.
Right.
What about luxury vinyl tile?
Okay.
I feel like everyone's raving about how tough and water-resistant it is. But does it really live up to the hype when it comes to winter?
LVT is definitely a superhero in the flooring world.
Okay.
It's super durable, water-resistant,
Yeah.
and generally shrugs off most of what winter throws at it.
Right.
But even superheroes have their weaknesses, right?
That's true.
One thing to watch out for is cold drafts.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those sneaky drafts can actually affect the adhesive backing of the tiles over time, making them more prone to lifting or curling at the edges.
Wait, really? I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
I always thought LVT was basically invincible.
Well, that's tougher than most.
Yeah.
But it's not totally immune to the laws of physics.
Right.
Another thing to consider is that while LVT itself is water resistant,
Yeah.
the subfloor underneath it might not be.
Oh.
So if you have a major spill, let's say,
Yeah.
that seeps through the cracks,
Mhm.
it could cause moisture damage to the subfloor,
Right.
which could then lead to problems with the LVT.
Okay, so it's not just about the LVT itself, but also what's underneath it.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So how do we prevent those draft disasters and subfloor surprises?
Think of it as a winterizing mission for your floors.
Okay.
First, inspect your windows and doors for any leaks or drafts. Caulking and weather stripping are your best friends here.
It's like putting a winter coat on your house.
Exactly.
I like it.
And while LVT can handle some moisture,
Yeah.
it's still wise to use doormats,
Oh.
both inside and outside,
Mm-hmm.
to trap as much snow, slush, and grit as possible.
Right.
This not only protects the LVT,
Yeah.
but also helps prevent those tiny particles from being tracked throughout your house and scratching other surfaces.
Right. It's all about being proactive.
Absolutely.
Now, I know we've talked about specific floor types,
Right.
but are there any general winter floor care tips that apply across the board no matter what kind of flooring you have?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think of these as your winter floor care commandments.
Okay. I'm right.
First, invest in high-quality mats.
Okay.
They're your first line of defense against all that winter grime.
Yeah.
And remember, placement is key.
Right.
You want mats both outside and inside every exterior door.
You know, you mentioned something earlier that I think is worth repeating.
Okay.
It's not just about having mats. It's about having the right mats.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
What makes a mat high quality when it comes to protecting our floors?
That's a good question.
A good quality mat is going to be absorbent,
Okay.
so it can soak up moisture,
Yeah.
but it also needs to be durable enough to withstand heavy foot traffic
Right.
and abrasive particles like salt and sand. Look for mats made from materials like rubber, coir, or microfiber.
Gotcha.
And don't forget to clean those mats regularly.
Oh, yeah.
A dirty mat is just going to spread the grime around instead of trapping it.
Makes sense. So mats are commandment number 1. What's next?
Commandment number 2, thou shalt clean regularly.
Okay. I like it.
Daily sweeping or vacuuming,
Mhm.
especially in high traffic areas, is key.
Right.
And remember, use a soft bristle brush attachment on your vacuum to avoid scratching the floor's surface.
Yes. I've definitely made the mistake of using the wrong attachment before.
Oh, yeah.
What about mopping? Any specific tips for winter?
Mopping is definitely important,
Yeah.
but less is more, especially during winter.
Okay.
Too much moisture can be a problem for any type of flooring.
Right.
A slightly damp mop is usually all you need.
Okay.
And instead of using harsh chemicals,
Yeah.
opt for a pH-neutral cleaner specifically designed for your floor type.
Okay.
They're much gentler on the finish,
Yeah.
but still get the job done.
So it's about working smarter, not harder when it comes to winter floor cleaning.
Exactly.
Now, I'm curious about underfloor heating.
Okay.
Does that change the game at all when it comes to winter floor care?
It does.
I know some people swear by it, but I've always been a little hesitant.
Okay.
Is it really as amazing as everyone says?
Underfloor heating is a game changer.
Okay.
But it does come with its own set of considerations.
Okay, what kinds of considerations?
The most important thing is to make sure the underfloor heating system is compatible with your flooring.
Right. We don't want any meltdowns or explosions under our feet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Most underfloor heating systems are water-based, which is generally safe for all types of flooring.
Okay.
But it's always best to check with the manufacturer of both your flooring and your heating system, just to be sure.
So compatibility is key.
Yes.
What about the actual temperature? Are there any specific guidelines for using underfloor heating during winter?
The beauty of underfloor heating is that it radiates gentle, even heat, which is actually very good for your floors.
Okay.
It helps maintain a more consistent temperature and humidity level,
Okay.
which minimizes those expansion and contraction issues we talked about earlier.
So it's like giving your floors a warm hug from below.
Exactly.
I like that.
But the key is to avoid sudden temperature spikes.
Right.
When you first turn on your underfloor heating for the season,
Yeah.
do it gradually.
Okay.
Start with a low temperature and slowly increase it over a few days.
So no cranking it up to sauna levels on day one?
Nope.
Okay.
And similarly, when you're adjusting the temperature throughout the winter, do it in small increments.
Gotcha.
Give your floors time to adjust to those changes.
Okay. Gradual adjustments are key.
Yes.
I'm starting to see the appeal of underfloor heating.
Yeah.
It sounds like it takes a lot of the guesswork out of winter floor care.
It really does.
Now, I know we could probably talk about this for hours,
Oh, yeah.
but there's still so much to unpack.
Right.
Let's take a quick breather. And when we come back, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of tackling those stubborn winter stains and spills.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back. Ready to tackle the messiest part of winter?
Oh, yeah.
Those stubborn stains and spills. They just seem to multiply faster than holiday cookies.
Definitely.
We're talking salt rings, muddy paw prints.
Yeah.
Maybe even a splash of holiday cheer that went astray.
Happens to the best of us.
So how do we banish these winter messes without banishing our floors, too?
Those winter messes, they can feel like an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But with the right approach, you can win the war against stains without sacrificing your floors.
Okay, I like that. Let's start with the classic winter nemesis, salt stains.
Okay.
My entryway looks like a salt mine some days.
Say that.
How do we banish those white streaks without damaging the floors?
Speed is key with salt.
Okay.
The longer it sits, the more time it has to etch into the finish.
Right.
Think of salt like tiny little daggers slowly working their way into your floor's protective layer.
Oh, no.
So first things first, sweep or vacuum up any loose salt crystals.
Get those salt gremlins out of there.
Exactly. Once you've banished the loose crystals, it's time for the cleanup crew.
All right.
For engineered wood, solid wood, even LVT.
Yeah.
A damp mop or cloth, not soaking wet,
Okay.
with a mild cleaning solution, works wonders.
So no power washing the entryway. What kind of cleaning solution are we talking?
A simple mix of warm water and a few drops of dish soap is usually enough.
Okay.
Or you can use a commercially available floor cleaner, but make sure it's pH neutral.
Right.
And specifically designed for your type of flooring.
Gotcha.
You want to clean those salt stains, not strip away the protective finish in the process.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, what about muddy paw prints?
Uh-oh.
My dog seems to think every patch of slush is a personal invitation to redecorate my floors.
Ah, yes. The four-legged mud monsters strike again.
It's like every day.
Same principle applies here. Act fast. Wipe up those muddy paw prints with a damp cloth or sponge as soon as you see them.
Right.
Don't give the mud time to dry and set in.
I swear sometimes it feels like they're tracking mud just to spite me.
I know, right? But if those muddy masterpieces do manage to dry, don't panic.
Okay.
Just resist the urge to scrub.
Okay, no scrubbing.
Instead, dampen the area with your cleaning solution. Let it sit for a few minutes to soften that dried mud.
Right.
Then, you can gently wipe it away without damaging the floor.
Okay, so patience is a virtue even when you're battling mud monsters.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about the grand finale. Holiday spills.
Oh, yes.
Spilled wine, rogue eggnog, coffee mishaps. The possibilities are endless this time of year.
'Tis the season for festive spills. The first rule of holiday spill survival is blot, don't rub.
Okay, so no rubbing.
Right, because when you rub a spill, you're essentially pushing the liquid further into the fibers of your flooring or carpet.
Right.
Instead, gently blot the spill with a clean, absorbent cloth to lift as much of the liquid as possible.
Gotcha. Okay, blotting it is. What happens once we've blotted up as much as we can?
For most spills on engineered wood, solid wood, and LVT,
Yeah.
your trusty mix of warm water and mild dish soap will usually do the trick.
Okay.
But for those stubborn stains like red wine or coffee,
Yeah, those are the worst.
you might need to bring in the big guns.
Like what? A hazmat suit?
Not quite,
Yeah.
but commercially available stain removers can be really helpful for those tough stains.
Okay.
Just make sure to choose a stain remover that's specifically designed for your type of flooring.
Mm-hmm.
And always test it in an inconspicuous area first to make sure it doesn't discolor the finish.
Right. Better safe than sorry. Now, before we wrap things up, I want to revisit the topic of dry winter air.
Okay.
We talked about the importance of humidity control.
Right.
Are there any other ways to combat that desert-like dryness, that seems to take over our homes during winter?
You know those bowls of potpourri you see around the holidays?
Yeah.
Well, you can use that same concept to add moisture to the air.
Oh, how?
Just place bowls of water near your heating vents or radiators.
Okay.
As the heat rises, it will evaporate the water,
Right.
adding much-needed humidity to the air.
So simple, yet so brilliant.
I know, right?
It's like a spa day for our homes. And hey, maybe you could even add a few drops of essential oils to the water.
Now you're talking. It's all about creating that cozy winter vibe, right?
Absolutely. Well, I think we've covered just about everything you need to know to keep your floors looking their best all winter long.
I think so, too.
From understanding the unique needs of different floor types to tackling those inevitable stains and spills, we've got you covered.
We've armed you with all the knowledge and tools you need to be a true winter floor warrior.
Exactly. Remember, a little preventative care goes a long way. Invest in those high-quality mats, maintain a consistent humidity level, clean up spills promptly, and embrace those gentle cleaning solutions. And if you're really feeling ambitious, explore the wonders of radiant floor heating.
Your floors will thank you.
Right. And hey, with all that extra time, you'll save on floor maintenance.
Yeah.
You can spend more time enjoying those cozy winter moments.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. That wraps up our deep dive into winter floor care. We hope you found this episode informative, empowering, and maybe even a little bit entertaining. Remember, well-maintained floors are happy floors, and happy floors make for a happy home. So go forth and conquer those winter floor challenges, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.